Well, this week's hot topic, it's been a hot topic for a little while now, is no price marketing and how annoyed buyers are now when they're inquiring or, and I'll talk about this in a moment, they're not inquiring about properties at all. So my question here is, if you are a buyer, do you bother inquiring about anything that has no price? And as a seller, do you want to miss out on 61% of potential buyers looking at your property? I'm assuming you don't. Now, realestate.com.au has released a stat that 61% of buyers do not click through to a property that has no price on it. So automatically you're dropping out a ton of potential buyers that are looking at it. When they go listed with by negotiation, and then when they're listed with a price a couple of weeks later on, that's when they see a spike of inquiry and also people at the open home, and guess what? They generally sell the property. The reason why agents love by negotiation is that they have this problem with having tough conversations with owners straight away. So what happens normally is that our recent property, we didn't get the listing of it. We told them it's probably sitting around that 900 to 950. The other agent told them 1.1, but let's put it by negotiation because we just don't know where it's going to sell for. There's actually been a few properties that had sold very similar to it that had sold for 900 and 920. So we're pricing it fairly right. Now, they went to market, it sat on the market for 5 weeks and they finally sold it for, guess what? 950, where we were telling them it would sell for. So if that had been placed on the market in the first couple of weeks, more than likely they would have been sold very quickly. Doesn't matter if I was the agent or the other agent had listed at that price point, they probably would have sold it, and probably sold it for a little bit more than the actual 950 as well, because those first couple of weeks are super important to really bring people there together. Now, we've had it in the past. We've taken over a property and it was on the market for 4 months with another agent with no price. And all we did was change it to an offers over, and we end up selling it for $25,000 more than what the other agent had been trying to sell for. Over those weeks, they were getting anywhere between 4 to 5 people through an open home, and we end up getting 29 groups as soon as we listed it. Now, we had buyers turning up on that day saying they've seen it for the past couple of months, but they didn't even want to inquire because there was no price point onto it. So again, that 4 months, they could have been sold a long time ago, and also probably in a better market than what it was when we finally sold it. And I've just recently had one as well where the owner's like, no, it has to go on by negotiation. They still agreed with the same price point I thought it was at. And for the first couple of weeks, we only had 3 and 4 and then 5 people. By the time we put a price on it, we had 15 groups through on the 3rd week. So it's very important in this changing market to get it right. It is about having that tough conversation, which agents just are not wanting to do because they don't want to miss out on the listing. And that is always the big key for this kind of thing. So what happens is when an agent overprices the listing or promises way more, is that they will actually work on you over those 3 months to bring you that price down and then finally sell it. Because they don't care when they sell it, they're just caring about selling it and getting the actual listing. So if you are going to go on the market, please think about how you are perceiving the value of your property and what could actually stop buyers from coming out. Yes, more than likely, you're probably going to have a little bit less people at the open homes because you're dealing with buyers that are genuinely in that price range, which to me, I would rather have 5 people that know the exact price point that are interested in that price point than having 20 people and only 5 of them are interested, because I'm too busy dealing with people that can't afford the property or no longer interested in that property. So just have a think about it, and if you have any questions, let us know. So I've just walked back in after shooting that video that you've just watched, and I saw another local agent has just asked the same question on their Facebook. And out of about 16 people, I think only 2 of them said that if a property didn't have a price, that they would actually contact the agent. So that's over 80% of buyers or people have actually replied to that saying that they would not talk to an agent if there's no price. So I would assume that those agents are having the exact same conversations with buyers at the moment, where they're very annoyed that there's no price guides out there. And as I said, stats were 61% of buyers won't inquire. So do not let buyers sit on the internet and not be able to come through your property in those first couple of weeks. Make sure you get a price point on there.